Hello! I'm the crazy flute lady, Risa. And today I was talking to my man just about instruments, I guess. And he was telling me at one point he had 14 guitars. And then I started thinking, I have a lot of flutes, but I have no idea how many flutes I have. So I thought it would be fun for us to check out how many flutes do I have. So this is all the flutes I have. Some of them aren't regular concert C flutes, as you can see, but let's look further into them, who they are, where they came from, and their quick little story. First up, just at random, I have my first flute ever. This is my Bundy, and I'm pretty sure this flute is made out of copper, just because the silver plating wears away. But I really do love this flute. In my opinion, it sounds great. I know people don't care for Bundys or Selmer flutes, but I have a totally different opinion on that, and I love it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Just next flute at random, I have this purple Slade flute here. The case is somewhere in the closet. I keep these ones out all the time just because I don't really play them. They're more for looky-loos. And this just came from when I was testing out Amazon flutes. And they're pretty, but I would never really play them in orchestra or anything. So they just stay up on the wall. And then same thing with this guy, also came from Amazon. I just thought a red one would be fun for to play for holidays and stuff, even though I use it visually and then I record the audio with a good flute, to be honest. Same thing with this one. I bought this guy off of eBay, and this guy didn't even work right out of the box. I had to tighten some of the screws to make it work, and then I right off the bat recommended don't get the ones off eBay. Someone who's never played flute before would have never figured it out. But I bought this black one for our Halloween stuff. And then I have this green one. I bought it from just somebody else on eBay too. It does not work at all, and the foot joint is super loose. This fella just stays on the wall. All these colored ones stay on the wall. Then I have this plastic Nuva flute, and I bought this just to try it out because people were talking about it, and you can play it in water. Though I did break the foot joint when we had that hurricane. I thought it would be cool to play flute in the dark because I didn't have anything else to do, and I knocked the whole entire flute wall down, and this guy got broke. So, yeah, but it's still a flute. Next up, we have this flute. Oh, yeah. This is another Bundy by Selmer, and I bought this flute. I bought this flute particularly to attempt to fix it. So when I first got it, it for the most part played, but you could tell it needed new pads. So I got a new pad kit and tried learning, and if you look closely, you can see that the keys are not all the way put back together as nicely. I actually made it worse than the condition I got it in. But it's still a flute. Someday I'll take it to a tech to actually fix, but for now, it's just a look-see-loo flute. It does not play. Here's flute number 8. And this flute I accidentally got for free. I bought a Bundy flute. I said I like the Bundy flutes. And the guy accidentally sent me this flute instead. And it is an Armstrong flute, so still a very beginner flute. But this flute, I played it one time. It did play, but it seems and feels really gross, so I don't play this flute. It's in the pile to take to the shop, I guess. And then when the guy finally did send me the Bundy, it was in perfect condition, and that's the one I ended up using for the flute giveaway a little while back through Musician's Edition. I did use my own money for that. Yeah, but it's okay because I only spent $20 on that, to be honest. All right, so flute number 9 here. I have another Armstrong flute, but this is my intermediate flute. I had to get this bad boy in college, and I actually sold our first flute to help pay for this flute. Not that it really helped because I only sold it for, I don't remember if it was $75 or $100, but yeah, I was supposed to apply it towards this flute price. My flute teacher just told me to buy this flute without even trying it. I don't particularly care for this flute. I'm a big fan of offset G, and this is inline G, so it kind of hurts my hands, but it does play beautifully and sound nice, so I do keep it, and I do play it for bigger projects, and I do play it for our intermediate series. Flute number 10. This is, once again, another Bundy, but this Bundy seems a little different than the other Bundys. I don't know if this is newer. This one feels like it's made out of the silver nickel versus silver copper, which is what I'm pretty sure that one's made out of. This flute I bought to use for Musician's Edition since I didn't have that flute. At the time, I only had the intermediate flute. So I wanted a student flute to teach for absolute beginners, so my flute would look like their flute. And so I've been using, this is the flute I use throughout all of our Musician's Edition student and beginner stuff. So it's been a good flute to me. I also have played it in orchestras and stuff. I kind of switch back and forth depending on the pieces. All right, flute number 11. This is a Selmer flute. Not necessarily the Bundy series, but it is Selmer. And I bought this flute for my friend to borrow so he could test out our Musician's Edition basics course, which we're still working on, but it should be coming out within this year, to be honest. Should be coming out this year, but I bought this flute for him to borrow and to test out the course, make sure I wasn't missing anything, and it works and everything, but I haven't really needed to play it. It's got a couple dents here and there, but they're not bad enough to affect the sound. But it's still a really good flute. All right, flute number 12, a Gemeinhardt for beginners. I actually got a really sweet deal from a shop that was closing down, and they were just looking to get rid of their instruments. They had just repaired this, and it was just needed to be gone. So I think I spent $100 on this, and I used this guy for marching band. I don't know why. It just seemed like it was a good flute for marching band. So I used this one for marching band. All right, flute number 13 here. This is Selmer, but this is the Aristocrat series. This flute I just happened to get off Marketplace. If you haven't noticed, I have a problem just buying flutes, and I feel really lucky about this flute too. The pads look like they were just recently done. The guy said his girlfriend bought it, played it once or twice, and then decided she didn't want to play flute. I got a really good deal on it too. I haven't really played this one much because I have a tendency just to stick to my favorites. But I probably will donate it to the Musician's Edition rental program because it's just sitting around for now. But I mean, it's still mine currently. So we'll see. All right, flute number 14. It's not your regular flute, but it is part of the flute family. I have a piccolo. And the story behind this piccolo is I used to have this beautiful gold-plated piccolo. I had it in high school. And when I was married, my now ex-husband, he stole it when we were married. And I'm assuming he used the money to get race car parts. Anyway, I didn't have the gold flute anymore. So my dad, for Christmas, got me this piccolo. Very kind of him to do so. And last but not least, I saved best for last. Let me move these fellas here. Flute number 15 here is our beautiful Gemeinhardt bass flute. I love this flute. I wished I had a little bit more opportunity to play it though, but sometimes I get to play it for our Christmas series performance pieces. A friend of mine's trying to start up a flute choir, so I told her, let me know. I have a bass flute ready to come out and rocking it. So, yeah, this is fun. This is great. Very unique. Fingerings are the same, but man, this flute is heavy. And you do have to change your embouchure up quite drastically too. I mean, you still form your mouth the same way, but you just have to like relax a lot more. And sometimes it's hard to relax when you're holding up this heavy thing. But I love it. It's great. So 15 flutes is what I have. That means I'm one flute over from his guitar collection. And I think that qualifies me to be considered the crazy flute lady. All right, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys for our next adventure.